Hello.
Yeah, that's your name.
Squirrels got me.
Big Jim.
Yeah.
Really cold and fun.
Cold and fun.
Cold and fun.
That's good that you think that of it, because that's what deer hunting typically is cold and fun.
Yesterday morning, I'm glassing up on the pass, and I see these deer moving, and I'm like, ooh, there's some deer moving. All of a sudden, I just see this person just head down, just hauling ass, wearing shorts and a t-shirt with a pack on. And I'm like, is that Tard? My dad always talks about floating through the woods like the autumn breeze.
So Robert's
when you're
the
275 pounds, I don't know how you do that, but
the Freightliner. It's just like a creeper. You're just kind of up in the corner watching what's going on down there.
Yeah.
You know,
he's like,
he's up there slapping it, kissing all over everything.
Is it warm yet?
How did you know the name of the actor?
I know.
How did you say his name?
Hervé Villechaize.
You know what pert near means.
If you know what pert near means and you live in America, you're a redneck too.
Welcome to the Log Talk Podcast, brought to you by Pert Near Outdoors. It's that time of year. It's that time of year where we all need to be thinking about, do we have everything we need to hit the woods? Chances are you don't, and if you think you do, you probably could use some more. So how about you go over to thehuntworks.com and check out all the incredible products these guys are carrying. This is a great family, local store. Dan and Steve Dunnigan, a couple hardworking sumbitches. They are now carrying archery equipment, everything from bows to arrows to broadheads, quivers, you name it. So on top of all the great tree stands and box blinds that they're carrying, they're now a full-on archery dealer, and really recommend that you check these guys out for your next big purchase. Head over to thehuntworks.com to see what they've got for sale, or if you're local in the Rochester area, head on over to their store in East Rochester on Dispatch Drive and check them out. They are on social media, The Huntworks, and also online, like I said. And if you purchase anything online, you can use promo code FEEDIN'Em to get 5% off, and that's FEED, FEEDIN, INUM, 5% off. Feed 'em.
Hey everybody, Big Willie, I'm back. Big Al and I are down in Wellsville, New York. Today it's Monday, the whatever that is, the 13th. So we're down here. We came down on a personal mission here to look for a trailer. And while I was down here, I've been wanting to get with Sean Burdick, president of the Upper Genesee River NDA branch down here. So Sean was gracious enough to have us stop by his house, and we're sitting in his deer room looking at some awesome mounts, some turkey fans, and elk. Did you kill that elk?
I did.
Did you really? What state?
Idaho.
Wow.
2018.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Was it 6x?
6x5, yeah.
6x5. Beautiful. So,
Yep.
yeah, awesome display of some whitetails, some sheds, some really beautiful place you got here.
Thanks.
I like this up on the hill, too. As we're driving up here, I'm like, oh, this is going to be nice. You know, beautiful place. So, but we wanted to stop and talk to Sean about some events that we got coming up, really to highlight that and not only hear about them, but promote them a little bit. So we come down, and Sean, I know you've been on before, but maybe you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little introduction to
Yeah, I've been on
what
here
you
a
do
couple
with
of
NDA,
times.
yeah.
So I'm Upper Genesee River Branch President. We are officially the National Branch of the Year right now. We won the award for 2023.
Hey, congratulations. I forgot. I should have had that in my notes.
There you go. That's not too far off the heels of winning the new branch of the year, our first national award for the combined 2020-21 years.
Okay.
We formed the branch in late 2019, but then 2020, nothing happened because of all the things.
Yeah.
So they based the awards for 2021 off of both years, and we won the National New Branch of the Year award that year.
Wow.
So we've been doing pretty good. I don't know, what else do you want me to talk about?
Well, I think had you partnered with us before 2020 then? Because we had the Beer Fest in the summer, and you've always supported us and been at our events.
Yeah. Billy talks about this a lot. that him and I had met through New York BHA years ago.
Okay, all right.
And we were both local committee members or local event planners through that, and we got together, and Billy had planned an event up in, I think, West Seneca or somewhere. There was a brewery up there, and I can't.
Yeah, it was a pint night or something,
yeah,
I think, wasn't
it was a really good time. I can't remember which place it was at, but it was a good time. And
I want to say the Rusty Nail or something. But
yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. And we just kept in touch through that, and we both kind of fell off with New York BHA for a whole lot of reasons. And I got this started, and we had always stayed in touch and supported each other through everything that we've done.
So this branch was not in existence
No.
prior to you kicking it off?
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Good for you.
Yep.
What inspired that?
Well, honestly, it was the way that some of the other orgs were run. I had been a part of Ducks Unlimited for, at the time, about seven or 8 years, helping the branch out here and kind of, helping put together events for them and things like that. And we kicked butt. It was amazing how much money you could bring in an afternoon doing a fundraiser party where you're raffling off guns and bows and everything else. But you started to get the question, where does the money go? And I didn't know, so I started asking and trying to talk to some of the higher ups at DU, kind of figuring out, well, what else can we do with some of this money? They're like, well, you get to keep 2%, and we keep the rest, and we'll decide. Well, and here you got a room full of 150 of your friends and family members and people that you know from around town that are spending hundreds of dollars, and they come up to you and you're like, well, I didn't win anything, which is fine, but what are you doing with the money? And you just got to stand there with a dumb look on your face, which, of course, their corporate does great things. And, there's like Montezuma, DU puts a lot of money into that, and Iroquois and Tonawanda, some of the preserves up there, and they do some of that, but that's nothing right here in Allegheny
County.
Locally
around here.
Yeah,
how's my money benefit my local habitat or waterfowl?
So that was a major pet peeve of mine, which kind of drove things from the beginning. And there were some other guys that were helping with DU too that felt the same way, that, and of course I called them up when I decided I was going to get this going, and they were 100% on board. And at the time when it was still QDMA, the split, you were able to keep 26% of your fundraising money, which is a considerable amount more than 2%.
Yeah.
And, there was a lot more leeway to be able to do something to give back to the community. I mean, all these organizations, they throw these big parties, and they get, banquets and dinners put together, and they raffle off all this stuff and make all this money. And, I really wanted to do something educational-wise to give back and use that money to educate people on
promote the activity.
Yeah. And all things like that. And that's kind of where it started. That's the base of it. Yeah.
It's like the National Wild Turkey Federation. We used to, prior to COVID, they'd have Limb Hangers was a local chapter there in Lima. I don't know if you ever went there. We used to go to the banquet, but I mean, we'd be a corporate sponsor, and we being the Bean Hill Meat Cutters.
Mm-hmm.
And but it worked out great because I'd pay for like the table, and then the guys we'd split up the cost, and I'd split up the tickets and all the stuff. It was great.
Yeah,
we just like poured money into that, and had a ball. We had a ball, and we went home with a lot of winnings, guns and bows, but it was we spent money to get it. But we had a friend running it, and then he like I felt he was wronged when COVID hit, the way, things that happened with him. And so I cut off with that. So now I'm kind of with Billy on the NDA.
Yeah.
So everything we do, raising money, we just give it to you.
Well, we appreciate it very much. I mean, you guys have been outstanding partners, and what you guys and Billy and everybody has done. And you think about Shedfest and the money that came from that goes to some of the stuff that we're going to be doing here in the coming months and years.
Yeah, it's a great, like, we raise the money, but like Billy, he jokes about it, but it's not a joke, but we're a net loss organization. Like, we don't make any money, we just spend money, but we're having fun. We're building community, right? That's really what we're we have a community and like-minded people. We enjoy the same things, and like the Shed Fest, we made some money. We gave away a lot of stuff. And a lot of people, I mean, it's just amazing the amount of things that people. How many boards did you do? 2 or 3?
3. We did 3 banner raffles.
Yeah.
That day.
And I mean, that's fantastic. Bye, Megan.
Wife's back to work.
She's back to work, taking her sparkly trousers and heading back to the school.
Everybody's going to be wondering what the hell that means.
Spirit Week at Wellsville School. What does she teach? What grade?
She doesn't teach. She works in the district office. She's,
nice. Yeah.
She's the executive assistant to the superintendent, and she's the district clerk for the board.
Oh, wow. That's a big job. So she's at board meetings and everything
Yep.
else. Yeah.
Yep. That's a whole nother topic right there.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep. Talk about burning some fire under your rear end.
Yeah. That's a pressure cooker job.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of every single thing that happens here. So what about, that was a little bit about yourself. You've been out turkey hunting. I see the turkey fan above you there with a nice long
that
beard.
was actually the last turkey I killed, which was
it?
in 2019.
It was a good year for you. It's the same year you got the 6x5.
The year after, yeah.
Oh, year after. Okay.
Yeah. That'll tell everybody what an outstanding turkey hunter I am. I only kill one about every 5 or 6 years, but I just haven't had the time. It's tough right now. The kids are busy, and I don't. I was telling I think Billy this at Shed Fest. With hunting especially, I put a lot of stress on the wife and the kids being gone and doing other things a lot, and it's not just that. There's other things that take me out of the house from time to time that she puts up with, and right now I just don't want to put her through that in the mornings when she's trying to get around and have to get the kids around all by herself. And
yeah, she's got to get to work. Kids got to get to school.
Yeah.
And you leave the house at 4:00 to go chase longbeards. So
so
just doesn't fit sometimes.
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
Get out a morning or
Same
two.
thing with me.
But
yeah.
We'll see.
I've only been out 2 times. My brother keeps calling me. He goes, "You go hunting this morning?" And I'm like, "No, I was busy with it." He's like, "What can you be busy? You're retired. What the hell?" But I haven't been out. I went out a couple times up at camp and heard birds each time, which was great. And, they hit the ground, walk away, and they don't really they don't say another word. I mean, you don't hear them. And I'm up there working a lot of times during the day, and, you'd think you might hear one sound off up above the cabin or something, but it's been very quiet. So I'll hopefully get back onto it second half of the season. They were henned up hard there for a bit.
Kind of where I'm thinking, too. Maybe by the end of this week, start to get out maybe an evening or two and see if you can hear anything and roost it all, which I haven't even had time to do that, really.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, all the NDA stuff, we got that event coming up, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit here, but that starts to take a lot of time now, too.
Yep. Yeah, it's the kids are busy with little ones, So do you ever roost much, Ale? Do you go out and roost them?
No, I've watched a few YouTubes, and it's a lot of location and terrain as far as how close do you get to the birds, how close do you want to be, do you want to come in that close in the morning if you have open woods or open fields. It's a lot of location type, it's all discretion, different where you hunt actually. So
it's interesting because I did some roosting up in Naples, and when I get up on top of the hills and I'll hear them roost, and I know where the logging roads come up, where the shelves and the benches, because I know I've been there my whole life, and I'll be like, oh, that bird's right there above the 5 points. There's one there. There's one there. And I go to like the farmland in Livingston County where the boys hunt, and I did some roosting for Jimmy. He's like, I can't get out. He goes, is there any possible you can go up and do some roosting for me? He's like, so I'll go up there and roost and then report in. I'll use Onyx and I'll drop a dime. Like, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here, But it's weird in the farmland because there's all the fields. It's like, I know he's in that patch of woods. The only question is he on that side of the gully or that side of the gully,
How close are you going to get to him?
Yeah, right. So, last year we couldn't figure him out over on the farm there, and so Jimmy and I said, let's go in real early in the morning. We know they're on this crest, so we'll get down in the bottom of that gully, and we'll sit there and then just let daylight come about. We ought to be like very close. We should hear. So we sneak in there, quiet as a church mouse. We get in there, we sit down, get our spots all prepped. We're sitting there, quiet, no calls, nothing. And it starts to get where you can see a little light. I'm looking at the tree. I'm like, shit.
Right there.
I'm looking at Jimmy. I was like, "Is that a bird right there?" He's like, "Yeah." And then I hear it gobble, and it's we're like right in the middle of them. And so we're like, "Yeah, who knows, right? Maybe they'll just pitch down." And so we never called or anything. And them birds never came off the roofs. And Jimmy had to leave at 7. And I mean, it's like it was late in season, so by then they're usually dropping out at 5:30.
Right.
So it gets to be 7:05, 7:10. He's like, "Dad, I gotta go." I'm like, "Dude, you gotta go to work. You gotta go to work." I go, "I will sit here. You just get up and try and sneak out as quiet as you came in." You know. He didn't take 2 steps, and the birds are all busting out, flying. It's like, I don't know why there was 4 gobblers. They're all still on roofs. I mean, you could have shot one from where we were, but it's like that's no fun shooting them off a limb. You know, I mean, it's like that ain't right. At least I wasn't into it, but so yeah, I haven't been out this year much at all, and we tend to figure out their pattern later in the season. And I missed a hell of a long beard last year. I think it was the last day or second to last day. But I knew where he'd been traveling all season, so I was at the corner of this woods and cut him off. But yeah, it's the guys that I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm getting lazy. Maybe I shot him. But it's like, man, 3:30 getting up to go and
makes for a long day.
Makes for a long day. I got a lot to do after that. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Bob Madigan, some of them guys, your dad too, probably. They used to go out at 10. Your dad used to drive bus and then go out at 10 o'clock.
Killed a bird every year.
Yeah.
Couple. Yep.
He said you don't have to get up early, right?
No. Once they leave their hens, they're out.
Yeah, they're out looking.
Yep. So.
But hey, well, if you do get out, good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks.
We have not taken a bird off our hill this year yet, and all of last year we didn't take a bird. In all fairness, we didn't hunt it that hard, but we weren't hearing the birds. And this year, at least, there's a lot of gobbling, and we've got some on trail cam, mostly hens, which is a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, along those lines, you seeing any no fawns dropping yet? Right, we're a little early.
Not yet. I haven't. I mean, not being out in the
You got
woods.
trail cams or out or?
Not right now. I take
okay.
them all down at the end of March.
I'll tell you what. You see that one I sent you? Was it this morning?
Yeah.
Tell me she's not ready to pop.
Any day.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, she's. This still looks like she's gonna burst if them fawns don't come out. I've been watching her, for the last couple months. You can tell the pregnant ones.
We're right in time right now, though. This is it.
Well, that's why
the next week or so.
I keep expecting to go in and see her there, and I saw Longtail was in there too. Did you see her the other day? Oh. This deer's got a tail on her, practically drags on the ground.
Really?
I'm like, what the hell's hanging off the ass of that deer? I get looking because it comes down below her knee.
What?
Yeah, and it's all black on the outside. And then I had a picture of her. Wow. I sent it to Al. She was in front of the camera with her flag up, something, and the flag's like this big. It's huge. Oh. Yeah, you got it there?
No.
I think I'll have to show it. It's in the text, but yeah, this. Check out the size of that. Check out the tail on that deer.
That's a long tail.
Yeah, I told Al that's how I keep track of her. But she looks like she may have dropped her fawns already. So at any rate, it's fun watching them. Like I get excited, and I got to look back in my notes and see when the first fawn was dropped last year. And then when they started, they all dropped obviously the way they do,
right?
Kind of saturation for the predators. But so yeah, I haven't seen any yet, but we're close. I think by next week, don't you?
Say.
Yeah. So Sean, we got some nice events you're getting ready to get going here, and you're playing a role in and I don't know, I can't recall what this is called, but it's basically it's an NDA field day kind of on June 1st down some. I'm assuming it's on some public.
It's in Allegheny National Forest down below Warren, PA.
All right.
It's actually a partnership between Meat Eater, like Stephen Ranella and Mark Kenyon and those guys, and National Deer Association. It's called the Working for Wildlife Tour.
And they did that last year, I remember.
Yep, just a couple of events, and this year NDA's input, I believe, was to have it somewhere up in the Northeast, and they picked the Allegheny National Forest, which is where it's at. It's less than 2 hours from here in Wellsville, and we got asked as a branch if we would like to help and support it, and there's a few of us that jumped right on it.
Is there a branch in that area of Bradford, PA?
Not super close. There's the West Central PA branch, which I cannot recall off the top of my head what town they're out of, and they're actually they also are helping out a little bit too. But we're gonna, and actually you guys and Billy are probably gonna help us. We're gonna put on a meal after the work is done in the afternoon. But they're planning on planting a couple hundred chestnut trees down there.
Nice.
The new
variety?
Yeah, the blight resistant ones. So they're going to plant a bunch of them down there in the forest and then head back to one of the pavilions, and NDA's rented a tent, and we're going to provide all the food. And I actually just, through our friends there at Steve Dunnigan there, I ordered some koozies that our branch is going to give away to all the volunteers that has our branch logo, the Meat Eater logo, and that Working for Wildlife.
Oh, cool. Tour
logo on it too, and that'll be cool. So we're going down to do that couple weeks.
Yeah, I'll be down there one way or the other. And Billy said yesterday, he mentioned you guys that we were going to partner with you guys to cook.
Yep, we got to have another couple of conversations about that just to get the logistics and who's.
Got any idea how many people we're expecting?
A maximum of 100. The
do you register right?
You need to follow that link from the NDA website to register. Yep. The Forest Service wants to make sure they account for everybody. Between that and the state park employees, they are anticipating 15 to 20 of their people.
Okay.
And they want to cap the whole thing at 100, so they're only going to let 75 people register to help that day, and that includes NDA volunteers and you guys.
So I should register if I'm going to be down there.
Yep. As of I believe early last week or the end of the week before, there were, I think, 32 or 33 volunteers signed up.
Nice.
So there's.
And I think Mark Kenyon had a post on Instagram. I think the first maybe 25 people to arrive get a special T-shirt.
Yeah.
Or first 50 or so. I don't know. But at any rate, he got some apparel.
I think there's going to be some giveaways that day, and he's going to be there on site.
Yep.
And the top brass from National Deer Association is going to be there. Nick Pinizzotto.
Oh yeah.
Yep. The CEO of the whole deal.
Nice.
Matt Ross, the director of conservation, will be there. Our new regional director, Megan Postal, will be there.
Yeah,
okay. If I'm forgetting somebody, I can't remember.
Yeah, I know that. I think Mark Kenyon's on the board now, isn't he, at the national level? Isn't he on the board of directors for NDA now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And have you ever met him?
No.
Mark? Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Salt of the earth. Really nice guy. And he was telling me when I met him, Billy and they had the live tour, the Meat Eater Live, where they went around to like comedy clubs and they did their podcast, but it was live.
Right.
We went to Cincinnati or Columbus. Which one? Cincinnati's on the board. So with Columbus, we drove down there and we went to that, and it was great. And afterwards, there was a meet and greet. And we got to talk with Mark, and come to find out, he had some ties to this area. I think his grandma and it was either his mother or father were born and raised in the Albion, New York area. And so he used to spend summers up here in Albion, Genesee County or Orleans County, whichever it is. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. Very nice guy. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting him. Back before I didn't have any time, I used to listen to his podcast every week.
Oh, God, yes.
For a long time. And right about the time where I quit having time to listen to podcasts regularly was about the time that he came under the Meat Eater umbrella and started to work with them guys. So since then, I just haven't had the time to listen to a whole lot of stuff. And usually if I'm in the truck for an hour or two on my way to a business meeting or something, I usually pop your podcast on and listen to that first. And by the time I'm done with that, I'm where I got to be and my time's up. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to, when I was working and on the road a lot, out and about, it was easier for me to like keep up with podcasts. But like my son will call me up and he's like, "Do you hear Rogan's podcast?" I'm like, I can't listen to Joe Rogan. I love his podcast, but they're like 3 hours long. And it's like, I don't have, like, that would be all the podcasts I'd listen to all week. You know, I'd like to catch Kenyon. I follow the East Meets West, you know, I with Bo Martonic.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
There's a lot of good, kind of some local stuff like that. It's fun, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, tell us about that. So if anybody wants to participate in this, I mean, like we'll be down there, so people are going to drive from. It's kind of a regional event, so it's not uncommon for people to drive 2-3 hours from all over to be there. But
well, I was looking at the list. I'm pretty sure there's a handful of people coming from Ohio and Virginia already, coming a long way to help out with this and be a part of it. So I think it's going to be a really great event. I think I'm excited to see how it's going to be put together. And you had mentioned, we all do this for the community and meeting the people. And I think there's going to be a lot of good people there and to have some good conversation with. And
it ought to be a great time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I was planning on going down and helping plant trees and whatnot, but if I can stand at the grill and staff that, I'd.
You won't be planting many trees if you're cooking for 100 people.
Well, I figure we get down there and start at the beginning and help plant trees, and then maybe an hour before everybody else shows up, get back and get the
back
food
there
going
and get food going.
Yeah. So still get our hands dirty.
Yeah. We got to get hands dirty a little bit, right?
Then clean them up. Just clean them up a little sooner.
Yeah.
Or you get your hands in the burgers.
We'll just work a couple hours, right?
That's
We start
right.
to crack a sweat. We're like, all right, we got to go cook now. You guys keep digging holes.
Yeah, well, really, looking at the itinerary, I think they're anticipating about just 3.5 hours of work.
Yeah, it's usually like a half a day. You meet in the morning, you go through what you're going to do.
I think it's at 9 a.m. you meet up, and they're planning on working from 9:30 or 10 until 2 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 2 to 5 having this little cookout and meet and greet.
Meet and greet, camaraderie time.
Yep.
That sounds awesome. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to, anybody wants to, can they get to it via your chapter, or do they have to go to the NDA webpage?
You're going to want to go to the NDA website. I'm not sure if our social media guy has it up yet. I had sent it out to the group last week. There's a flyer that's on the NDA website, and I believe it should be underneath the events tab too. But if you just search Meat Eater Working for Wildlife Tour, it'll pop right up. Go on there and sign up. And they are going to, like I said, they are going to cap it at 75 volunteers to keep the total event at 100, which includes their staff.
And that's kind of nice, really, because it's going to be small enough where you get to know people and you can talk to people and stuff, and get to meet some folks. Well, that's awesome. We look forward to seeing you down at that. And I guess the other big event that we got coming, which is like
the big event.
Yeah, the big event, which is absolutely awesome. I really enjoyed it. Last year it was later.
It was earlier.
It was in May last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first year that we've had it any other time than the third Saturday in May.
Okay.
And we, the reason we moved it, we had gotten some feedback the last couple of years that a lot of the archers that wanted to come and shoot the competitions had other shoots farther south that they had committed to, but they still wanted to come and shoot. There were a lot of college graduations. It would have been this past just Saturday.
Yeah.
No, it'd be
tomorrow. This coming, right?
13th.
It would be this
coming Saturday.
Yeah. So there's a lot of college graduations and things like that, and we figured if we be in between college and high school graduations, you get the college kids that are home. We really wanted to have it the Saturday before on June 8th, but due to all of us being busy and not having the time to get together and start the planning early enough, the Rod and Gun Club was already booked.
Oh, okay.
And it came down to it that the 15th was the only day that they had available before it got into July, and we were all like, we're not doing this in the summer.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to have time to plan anything.
Summers seem so
after
busy
the 4th.
nowadays.
It's terrible.
So much going
I mean,
on.
it's great, but it's terrible because you don't have a free weekend to just do nothing or whatever you want. There's always something on the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the 15th or it was nothing, and that's what we went with. And
beautiful.
A lot of people that we've talked to have given us some good feedback so far that they're glad it's back a couple of weeks now. And, you get a lot of the turkey hunters that are diehard that won't give up a Saturday morning.
Yeah, if all they got is Saturday and Sunday, you only got so many of them.
Yep.
Well, and that's good. So this will be 3-4 years?
This is the 4th year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For your event.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, I was blown away last year. I mean, I was totally impressed.
Well, I appreciate hearing that. Everything came together last year really nicely. It was a lot of stress, and it was a lot of work. We did a lot more work on the archery course last year, which took a ton of time. We we got a hold of some old utility poles and bought a bunch of treated lumber, and we built bridges across all the wet areas and the dips out on the course, and
make it easier to traverse for your
yeah,
archers.
we wanted to make sure we opened it up so you could get a side-by-side around the whole thing in case there was an emergency.
Yeah, which is a great thought.
Yeah. Yep. So that was the main reason, and that was a lot of work. And then putting the event together in the afternoon outside of the archery is, I mean, you saw it. It's just a lot of stuff, and big day.
Big day.
Big day.
So run us through the day. What's it look like? I know I was there last year I was there as a attendee, and I bought the VIP pass, which, by the way, I didn't win a darn thing, but
can't win them all.
I was standing with a guy. He had to call his wife. He drove his Jeep, and he had to call his wife to ever bring the truck. He won so much. He had like kayaks and
there were 3 guys that day that just kept winning.
Oh my God. I was happy for the guy. I was standing, was laughing. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. He did great. He went home with, just like, holy cow.
A truckload of stuff.
Yeah. 2 truckloads.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He called his wife, you better bring the pickup down here. I won so much. But all that. So walk us through the day. What's it look like?
Yeah.
How's the day unfold?
It starts pretty early, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we get down there. I'm down there before 5 a.m. starting to get everything rolling. We do archery competitions all morning. We have 3 separate courses set up. We've got a youth range that's between 10 and 15 yards that kids can come and shoot and learn how to shoot. We've got different bows that they can pick up if they haven't shot before. And
very nice.
We'll help them get their form down and get them slinging some arrows down range. We give away a ton of stuff on that. There's there's prizes for everybody that comes to that. Then we do a single spot 3D competition where we set up a trailer with a railing on it, and you got 10 targets between 15 and 35 or 40 yards out in front of you, and we pay cash prizes for first, second, and third on that. And then the big course is the woods course that goes around kind of the perimeter of the Rod and Gun Club property. They've got, I think, about 65 acres down there, and we only put up 10 targets. But they're all very difficult, and it takes about an hour to do the whole course. And that's really great. We have cash prizes for first, second, and third on that one.
3D targets?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. 3D targets, all animals.
What sort of ranges are they shooting?
Well, it's everything. Some of the short ones, depending on how we decide to set it up, we've had them as short as 7 or 8 yards and just a tiny, small target to hit. But they go out to, I think the longest one on that we've ever done is 44 or 45 yards.
Yeah, so it's nice. So it's all reasonable. Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of people are practicing. Like I practice out to that.
Yeah.
For archery, I won't shoot that far at a deer, but if you're really proficient at 45 yards,
then 25
is a cakewalk, so that's kind of my
right. Yeah, when we design where the targets are going, we intentionally make them difficult shots. Even the ones that, like, you might walk up as you're walking to it and see, it's a big deer and it looks like it's an easy shot, but you kind of start looking and, get your binoculars out and there's a twig in the way. It's a small twig, but it's enough to push your arrow out of the 10 ring for sure.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out if you got to crouch down, lean over, shoot from your knees.
How you position for that.
Yeah. We try to put a couple of elevated shots in there too. We had a box blind that we brought down last year that one of our volunteers built on a trailer. And the idea was pretty cool, but it slowed everything up and it didn't.
Oh, did it really? By the time everybody got up in the blind, got situated,
yeah,
and took their
it was
shot.
more of a pain in the ass than it was anything. And the Rod and Gun Club has given us permission to build a permanent structure out there somewhere, which if we have time, we're going to do that in the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be a large open platform.
Just a deck.
Yeah. A deck that'll just be 4 or 6 feet off the ground that's got a nice staircase up to it that's easy up, easy down, fast.
Keep people moving.
Yeah, and you'll have 2 or 3 shots off of that. So the little bit of time it takes to get up there, you're going to be up there for a few minutes, and it'll save some time on the back end. But if we have time, we're going to build that. Like I said, we got all the bridges in. But the course is really nice. We get the guys, there's a couple of guys. In fact, the one that's won it, I think he's won every year. He's given us great compliments on how good the course is compared to a
nice.
lot of the shoots he goes to all up and down the East Coast. So we're excited to put that together again. We're going to get down there hopefully in the next week or so and clear the trail back out and start to mark off where we're going to put the targets.
Yeah, I was, last year I thought I might shoot. It was pouring rain, so I stayed in the booth because I was there with the Huntworks. We had a display. We were a vendor there, but I've often been like intimidated. Like I don't like, if they're out there 50, 60 yards. I don't want to be losing my arrows. I got some nice arrows I got from the Huntworks. I could get more, but it's going to cost me some money, So I don't want to be like losing my equipment or dinging things. Some of them are like the boys tell me about when they go to TAC events, and they're like, some of the shots are just craziness.
I've never been to a total archery challenge. I say that I'm going to go every year, but again, kids and family and all the activities.
Life gets in the way. You can only do so much.
Yeah. But yeah, the archery course is good, and that goes all morning. And then when the archers come off the course, we've got our vendor row right there where we've got the vendors set up. We're going to have Trophy Line, the Huntworks, Kishel Sense, Hot Shot Archery.
We had the camera last year. Somebody came with cameras. Was it
Exodus? I had the guys. A couple of the guys from Exodus I'm buddies with down there in Ohio, and they were able to make it up last year. I don't think they're going to make it this year. Belmont Archery, Jim Bolzan, who bought the shop off of Scott and Leslie.
He was here last year.
Yeah, he's going to set up again. I'm waiting to hear back on a couple more. I believe God's Country.
For the dogs, pheasant hunt,
the pheasant hunt outfit down there. In
I think
PA.
they were there last year.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they had some good wins.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from them, but I'm pretty sure they're going to set up too. And there's a couple other tentatives too, but we're looking at probably having 8 to 10 vendors there.
Okay,
the Huntworks, you'll be there with the Huntworks, which will be good.
Nice. Yeah, I got to talk to Steve, see how much product I do or don't bring down, what I have for displays, but it's kind of an awareness thing too. Like we didn't. Last year, I know you remember this because you went to great lengths to put that tent up. That tent was huge.
Yep.
And but we didn't have rain for, I swear to God, 4 weeks prior to that event, and that event came and we got like 4 weeks worth of rain in
one day.
Yeah,
and it didn't rain for 4 weeks after it either.
No, and that was it. And it never rained again. It was crazy.
It was crazy. We still had last year we sold just under. It was right around 190 tickets altogether, including the people that just showed up the day of. Mm-hmm. But there were almost 40 people that bought tickets ahead of time that didn't show up. So you think about how many people that were there.
Yeah,
what a big deal that. It was very busy all day. There could have been 40 more people there.
Yeah.
So.
No, it was awesome. Are there still VIP tickets available?
There are. I think there's about 20 left, which is surprising. I mean, I've heard from at least 10 guys, I'm getting one, and I keep saying you might want to hurry up and do it.
Yeah, all of a sudden they'll be gone.
They will be.
Why don't you explain to folks what that is, your VIP package?
Oh, yeah. So the VIP ticket for the day, it is the most expensive. It's $275. But the VIPs, you talk about the people that won so much last year, they're the people that are going to win.
Yeah.
And the main reason is if you buy a VIP pass, any ticket that you buy that day, like say you go to the gun raffle table and you buy an arm's length of tickets for $20, you're going to get 2 arm's lengths. Whereas somebody that didn't buy a VIP is just going to get their 1 arm length. You're going to get double tickets all day, except the deck of card raffles. We're not going to do it on the deck of cards because it's a small, finite number of chances. But every other raffle, you'll get double tickets. And that would be even if you've got a VIP pass and you shoot the long range archery shot. So we put a target out at say 75, 80 yards, and depending on where you hit the target, you'll get raffle tickets into a separate raffle. So the VIPs are even double on that too.
Okay.
Yeah. But you also get a hat or a shirt, you get the lanyard and badge, and we've got some other swag. And you get into the other big draws that you get into the VIP only raffle.
Right.
So we're selling 30 tickets, and we put 15 prizes on that table. So
I couldn't believe I didn't win one last year.
You instantly have 50% odds at winning something, and we put some of the nicest stuff on that.
You wouldn't believe some
raffle.
of the prizes.
We have some really good partners that help us out with that too, to make sure that we've got good stuff on there that, people walking by say, "Wow, where do I get tickets for this?" And we're like, sold out.
You know, there was a lot of people that came just for that afternoon raffle in the tent.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't them, there was people shooting and there was some people hanging around. Obviously, it was horrible weather day. But when it came time for people were showing up to grab some lunch, and then the raffle went on and on and on.
Well, a lot of people got tired of it because it went on too long, and I think we're gonna cut probably 2 of the raffles out, 2 or 3 of them this year, just to streamline the afternoon and keep things going a little bit smoother. But yeah, you get an awful lot with the VIP pass, and there's another idea that I'm cooking up with those VIPs too that I haven't gotten my head wrapped around how I really want to do something else cool for those people that buy the big VIP pass. But I'm working on something else that hopefully comes together really well here in the next couple weeks.
So, I mean, the event, there's hot dogs, hamburgers, correct? And
yeah, it's all you can eat and all you can drink. And we're doing chicken barbecues again. We get the chicken from Stearns. They cook it up for us, and then we do the sides. And everybody that comes, you can get 1 chicken barbecue. And then if you're still hungry, we got burgers and dogs and sides all day for you.
Yeah. So there's no short. And then in the morning, is the gun club going to do breakfast
They
again?
are. They
did a great breakfast last year down in that club.
That's an extra cost is the breakfast.
Yeah, but that was all right. It was nice because a fundraiser for them.
Yeah, they get to make a little bit too, and they did all kinds of eggs and bacon and.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Dunnigan and I, we went in there. We had a big breakfast. It was awesome.
Yeah, they do pretty good, and they put that on from I think they start at 7 a.m. and then they cut it off at 10 or 10:30. So they've got time to clean up, and then some of them guys come out and help us in the afternoon for the raffle.
Yeah. So there's breakfast, and then the chicken barbecue is beginning at what time? Like
11:30. 11:30.
Yeah. So we got breakfast and the chicken barbecue. And if you're hungry after that, you got hots and hams.
Yeah.
You got sides. There's beer, pop.
Yep, all you can drink. We got plenty of water, soft drinks, and beer. Yep.
And then you're going to do a tent this year?
Yep. Oh, yeah. We're going to stick with it regardless of the weather. It created such a nice atmosphere in there. And we got all those high-top tables, and I got those nice covers for them with our logo on them. Yeah, when we got that thing put up on Friday before the event last year, we all just kind of looked around like, this is cool.
It was awesome.
It was really nice. So we're like, well, the whole setup that we have to rent with it's actually 2 tents that we rent with all the tables and everything else. It's very, very expensive, but it gave it such a nice feel last year. I think that it's worth spending.
Totally different than having just like an open raffle in the field, if you will, because everybody doesn't fit under the pavilion.
No.
This allowed you to have your pavilion focused on food.
Yeah.
And
the registration.
Registration and merch. Your own stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah, I got you a shirt, didn't I, last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had we'll have to those shirts last year were awesome. You're doing the same thing, you're changing the design.
Oh, we got a new design.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Russ Morgan there at Whitetail Cove.
Yeah, he does them for you?
Yeah, he does the designs for us, and I actually just finalized with him this morning the design that's going on the koozies that everybody will get.
Yeah.
And it's the same design that'll go on the hats that we're getting to.
Yeah, the hat. I think I got a shirt and I bought a hat or something.
Yeah,
I love them. That was just great artwork last year. It was a neat. I think we had Sasquatch on there, didn't we?
Well, that has become our official
like your logo
Arrowfest.
Thing.
What would you call it? Mascot. Yeah, mascot's the word.
Do you have any out on the like? Have you had sightings on the archery course or?
No,
not yet.
Not yet. But come June 15th, there's going to be some. Let me see if I can show you this year's logo for the. There you go. Take a look at that.
Oh, that is sweet.
That's this year's.
Very nice.
That is awesome. Russ designed that?
Yep.
I like it. Can't wait.
Yep.
Have a hat with that on there and a shirt. I'll get another one this year.
Yep, we're doing the shirt or the same model that we did last year, except we're doing it's like a heathered brown shirt instead of that military green type color. Yeah.
So how many people are you hoping? Like what's your goal?
Personally, I'll be happy if we can get 150 in for the whole day.
Yeah.
Which most of that, like you say, will be for the raffles in the afternoon. Most people come for that anyway. I mean, certainly you don't have to come for the archery. That's a whole separate thing. I mean, really, the way that we run it, it's really 2 events in one day.
Yes, it is.
With the archery competitions all morning, and then once they're done, I mean, it's a hard shut off. No more archery. We're all
That's closed.
eating and drinking and partying and winning gear now. So,
Can you put you got any idea what I was kind of awestruck imagining what the dollar figure was. Like, I mean, the amount of, like, if you could put a dollar number to the prizes that were given out that afternoon, I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars.
Last year,
worth of stuff.
it was just over 23,000 last year.
In prizes and giveaways,
Yep.
Yeah, it was like very impressive.
Yeah, and we're tracking. Like I said, I'm probably going to take at least probably 2 of the raffles out because it goes on a long time in the afternoon, and we want to shorten it up just a little bit. But we're tracking pretty close. I think we're going to end up around 19 or 20,000 this year, and that also includes. So in the past, we've always had some type of a hunt that we've given away. And we don't actually sell tickets for the hunt at the event. So this year, one of our volunteers, Robert, he actually started a leasing company out in Kansas called King's Whitetails, and he is donating a 2025 archery rut hunt at his place, which altogether it's worth like $4,500. And if you want to take somebody with you, I think he's cutting a pretty darn good deal. And you can take up to either 2 or 3 more people with you at a discount.
At a discounted price.
And it's like November 2nd to the 7th or something.
Wow.
Next year. So, and the only way that you can win that is just by being at the event. And so when you're at the event, when you go to each raffle, for every $20 that you spend, you're going to get a ticket to the hunt.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
More you spend, more tickets, more chances you have on that.
So you can't actually buy tickets in there, but,
spend money on the other raffles and earn tickets.
Yeah, and the VIPs, they get an extra ticket pack that.
What's that?
They get 2.
Yeah.
The VIP people, they're going to get extra tickets for that too, which is a big draw.
That's awesome.
But if you look at his website, he's got some really interesting pictures on there, and it looks like a pretty good place.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I think this is only his 2nd year doing it. I don't want to step on any toes or say it wrong. I'm not positive on that, but he just started it not too long ago, so I don't know a whole lot about it, but it looks good, and he's happy to donate it, so we're happy to take it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And having that kind of a draw, I mean, you think a Kansas rut hunt, they got 140-inch minimum out there too, so you're pretty much not walking away with anything less than that.
Not going to get a crotch orn on this hunt.
Right. Probably not without paying a huge fine or a fee.
Well, all the money is saved on the hunt. You could afford to pay the penalty on the.
Yeah.
Is that a ranch thing, or as far as how 140-inch buck, is that something that's not a state?
That's his rule at his place.
Right, because he wants to grow them bigger. Yeah.
Right.
And they do. I mean, Kansas would be cool for a deer hunt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Top of the line.
So the guys, you're not sure on the pheasants yet out of God's country.
Yeah, I've heard through other volunteers that they're coming, but they haven't responded to any emails or calls I've tried to get a hold of them on. But
I hope they do come. I enjoyed meeting them last year.
Yeah, they're a good bunch of guys, and they donated a pheasant hunt, a 4-hour pheasant hunt that we made. I think we live auctioned it last year.
Yeah,
and that went over really well. And the guys that went, they came back and they have said nothing but just how awesome it is. The one guy's even talking about buying a $10,000 shotgun to start doing this. He had never done it before, and
he just fell in love with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy me a good gun now.
Yeah, it's they got a place in PA. Not far. Probably a half hour, 45 minutes across the border.
Not even. It's probably 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it's just into PA, but they're up in I don't know if that's Potter County. They're God's country.
Yeah,
and so yeah, they were super nice folks, and it looked like I was talking to them because I'm kind of interested in the birds, and I thought it was what he had going on was pretty interesting. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So we got kind of laid out the day well. So we got breakfast available through the gun club. We got chicken barbecue starting at 11. Hots and hams after that, or maybe about the same time in case you don't want a chicken barbecue.
Right.
Water, beer, pop. We'll have beverages. The raffles start. I think last year we started around 2, didn't we?
1. We try to start as soon as the archery's done, which that's for us. It's been a tough transition because there's only so many of us, and
you're out working that course.
We've needed more people, which is going to be even tougher this year. There's a couple of guys that, we're all some of us are getting to the point in our lives where we're just so busy with family and kids and everything that you just don't have time to prioritize a volunteering organization. So we've had a couple of guys step down that have historically been a major, major help. So that's going to be another pain point this year, is getting everybody switched over from archery to the raffles and getting a smooth transition there. But we're going to try to start the raffles right at 1:00.
Okay.
And I would like
I think last year they went to what, 5?
Yeah, it was almost 5, and I would like to see things done by 4 this year.
Yeah. If you could be done 4:30, that's nice.
Yeah, that's what I think. And that gets us a little bit farther ahead, cleaning stuff up and
getting out of there for the day. It's a long day for you.
It is. It's a long day. Like I said, I mean, the last 3 years I've been down there before 5 a.m. to open the gates up and just start getting started on stuff. And it never seems like by the time the raffles start, I am just not quite ready. Like, I'm almost ready, but then I'm just scrambling for 3 or 4 hours, and it's nothing but absolute chaos on my end.
Yeah, I felt bad for you. You were really obviously very, very busy.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't help when the microphone keeps going out and the PA system doesn't work, and I've got to start hollering over everybody.
Right, and then you're losing your voice an hour into it.
And then I've got a headache, and then I'm like, geez, give me some whiskey. Then the afternoon goes away from there.
So this event in Wellsville, for anybody who's not from this area, it's, from the area where Billy's based and we do our Shed Fest, you're about an hour and a half away.
Not quite. I make it from here to Shed Fest in an hour and 6 minutes.
What? Do you really?
Yeah, I can beat a Windy Brew in an hour and 6 minutes.
Wow.
I drive 10 to 15-ish.
All right, so I drive 10 under. So my grandson told me this morning, he's like, Grandpa, why do you drive so slow?
Jeez.
You need a new truck. My daddy goes way faster than you. Anyways, we had some folks here from all over, really, Western New York last year. But it's within an hour and a half
of
drive.
Buffalo and Rochester.
And Rochester, right? So it is on, it's at the Wellsville Rod and Gun Club on Weidrick Road. That's WEIDRICK, Weidrick Road, which is just off of 19 headed south. When you come out of Wellsville, just follow 19, head south, and I believe it's like your first right-hand turn. There's a gas station on the corner. You can't miss it.
Shorts gas station there.
Yep.
But we always have a big sign up right at the road.
Yes, you did last year when we come down looking for it. So
can't miss it.
What about, you want to just let everybody know how to find you and find your tickets, and if they wanted to sign up?
Well, actually,
what are their options other than VIP?
Oh, yeah. Well, you've got the regular entry, which we're keeping the price the same on that. It's $40.
Okay.
And that's all you can eat, all you can drink. It gets you your basic NDA membership. You'll get
a good deal.
You'll get the event koozie and some other swag. I'm trying to think off the top of my head because I missed when you asked me about the VIPs. I missed that you also get a $150 ticket pack with your VIP pass.
Right. That was
I'm trying to think what else. I know there's something I'm missing, but
there's a third membership, or isn't there?
There's a couples
ticket,
steps. And there's a ticket package that we have, but that doesn't include your entry. So you can get, if you on pre-sale, it's $100, but you get $250 of raffle tickets for $100. Best deal of the day, right there. A lot of the VIPs, they get the VIP and they get that, and that gets them just tons and tons of tickets.
That gets them in a position where they got to call the wife and go bring the
That's
truck.
Right.
Get
bring
my
the
truck,
the trailer, and everything else. And the day of, that's going to go up to $125.
Yeah.
But you'll get the same tickets.
Okay, so if you want to buy them any of this ahead of the day of, you go to your webpage.
Yeah, you want to follow. If you're following us on Facebook, it's just Upper Genesee River NDA. I think we're on Instagram too, and you can find our branch in the event through the National Deer Association website too. But
I did look; it is listed there.
Yeah, all of our tickets this year, we're only selling them online until the day of. So you gotta go online and get them because we're not.
So the day of, you're not selling out.
Yeah, we are. The day of is the only day that you're going to be able to pay cash.
Gotcha.
Or pay us directly for it because we don't. Our treasurer is just busy and is kind of stepping down, and he's still helping us out because we haven't found anybody else to take his place right now, but he's not going to be around, and that position is a lot of work. So we're trying to minimize the amount of paperwork and handling money and, the trips to the bank for him and things like that. So we decided we weren't going to collect any money in person until the day of the event. And,
that makes sense.
Everything will be sold online.
Yep.
So we've got a QR code. We've got posters up all over the county now. I can give you guys a couple of them to take back and put up around your area.
Yeah.
But just follow that QR code and the link on the Deer Association event page when you find us for
Yeah,
Saturday,
maybe we can
June
post
15th.
up the QR code on.
Yeah.
We post that up on our Instagram. As
Yeah,
well,
I can.
for Pert Near
I can
Outdoors.
send you. I can send you the QR code and the link and everything.
Or we can share it from the. I know you had it on because I went on there and went on the page to get my VIP. But
yeah.
So I got to get that done before you run out. I know last year. I mean, they sold right out. I was.
The VIP sold out fast last year.
I was surprised, but I was glad. That was my first year doing it, and I was glad that I jumped on it quick.
Yeah.
Because I had it. But so it sounds like a big day, and then on the 16th of June, you'll be putting your feet up, going,
Yeah.
it's done. I did
hope
it
so.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I hope so. There's always still a lot of cleanup on Sunday morning down there,
I
which
bet.
is.
But it's got to be. You got to feel like you're over the hurdle after you wrap up this event.
Yeah. To an extent, yes. I mean, it's hard because you end up putting so much time into it, and it does on my end and a couple of the other guys too. It becomes stressful because you want it to go well and you want it to look perfect and you want people to have a good time. So you put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into it, and you really start to stress over even some very minuscule decisions that maybe aren't that big of a deal, but in your mind at
That's
the time.
because you're already at a scale of 80,
Right.
out of 100 on stress, and then so just the little things. I know exactly what you feel. When I was like your age, I ran a sportsman's raffle for our local fire department, and I literally did that for like 20 years. You used to go, your dad, your brothers. I mean, it was big, packed, hundreds, 400 or 500 people, and we would. I mean, it started at noon. And we were done at 6 o'clock at night, and it was, I'm telling you, it was
But it was all year.
all year planning for it.
It's
And we
all
gave
year.
away a 4-wheeler at the end. We always gave away an ATV. But I mean, at the end of the day, and this is like 20 years ago, we'd clear, $12,000-$14,000. So it was a huge fundraising event. It was the thing for the fire department. And I'm telling you, the week or two ahead of that event, oh my God, I was stressed.
Yeah.
And people want to help, and it's like, I got to just do this. I got to get it done. Yeah, I know exactly what you're feeling. It's a tremendous amount and it's a huge event. A lot of people are coming, and they rely on you, and you put the pressure on yourself because you want it to be a successful event. So,
well, right. I mean, you're one way or the other, like all of us volunteers that are putting it together, our names are on it in one way, shape, or form. So it's a reflection of us, how it
you have
goes
ownership
off.
of that.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that it goes well and it's fun for everybody, and it does. It piles up there at the end. So the day I don't really wind down for a couple of weeks after it.
Yeah.
But it is that first next day, actually really as soon as you slam the gavel and say thanks to everybody for coming and you can just really, without having to worry about any consequences, be able to have some drinks and start to put some stuff away and relax. It starts right that night.
Kudos to you and your whole team for putting this event on, and the fundraising and the work you do.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Al's been to a couple events. I've been to several now, and I know, and you can share with us if that's changed. Last I talked to you, you were not going to do like some of the educational series this fall or late summer. But I enjoyed the heck out of them coming down. There'd be some pizza and cheese and crackers, and we'd have Kip Adam or whoever.
Yeah, Kip's come and spoke for us a couple of times. I wanted to say, too, I was really hoping to have a couple of the other guys on here with me, too, because there's a lot. I mean, certainly I do a lot for this, but the whole group.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We're very invested in it, and everybody puts in a lot of work, but there's a handful of guys that put in a lot of work for this, and they would be good to talk about this with, too. They just couldn't swing it this afternoon. But yeah, back quick to the educational stuff that became a time crunch thing, mainly on my end again, and some of the stress with everything else, leading up to this, it becomes a lot, and we really enjoy doing that too. And to some extent, we kind of exhausted the top 20 topics in the last couple of years over all the events that we did. But what we're looking at doing is hopefully in the future we're going to kind of reinvent that a little bit. And instead of having a whole series of educational seminars, what we would like to do and how we see it transitioning is to have almost like I want to call it like a field day, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be in a field and it's going to be food plot related or necessarily habitat related, but we want to move to some more hands-on learning type things. Like picture, processing a deer, something like that, where you get, instead of having a room full of 60 or 70 people, you've got like say you rent out this big space and you have like separate things going on all day, like a smaller type seminar over here and one over here, and maybe you can move around the stations and, we'll give away a bunch of stuff. And that's kind of a baseline thought of how that sort of educational series could evolve going forward. But again, it's all based on timing and everything. I mean, if there's anybody listening to this that's near Wellsville that wants to come and be a volunteer in our core group and, take some of the weight going forward and be a part of what we're doing, certainly reach out and get a hold of me, because it does become tough for a lot of us with the time constraints and family and everything else for us to keep up with everything that we really want to do. And especially coming off winning the National Branch of the Year award, you certainly don't want to just do nothing after that.
Exactly.
I mean, and those educational events are a lot of the reason behind why we won that award, and we've been doing them for a few years.
I thought they were fantastic. I really enjoyed them.
I think we did a great job with them, and I would like to see something like that continue and still be a pillar of what our branch is about and how we're giving back to the community. And those types of things were always free to come to. I mean, we didn't.
I know, it was great.
And every one of those cost us a couple $1,000s to put on, every single one. We did.
Well, just for food and everything and beverage.
Some of the speakers would come and donate their time, but some of them didn't. And you got to pay them a pretty good amount of money to get them to come. And some of them are coming from a few hours away and they want travel time and stuff, which is understandable. That's fine. That's what the money is for.
Right.
Is getting them in there. And we don't want to see things die off because a handful of us are losing time to other priorities that are trumping, the volunteer organizations.
You need some old retired guys. Right now.
I'm looking at a couple of them. So
riding around in a truck all day.
We're hoping to do something like that. And maybe when I say field day, maybe it is habitat. Maybe you get somebody to offer up their property for a day or a half a day and just bring 20 or 30 or however many people they'll let you bring on their property out and do a big barbecue for them and maybe give away a gun or something and do something like that. We really don't know. I mean, after we get past Arrowfest, once we get everything settled from that, we're going to quiet down and we'll all take a break for the summer and spend time with our families and all that stuff. And then we'll probably reconvene early in the fall at some point just to talk about what we want to set in motion for next year.
Yeah, and what your goals are.
And try to just get somewhat of a soft plan. And really what I would like to see is all of our core volunteers show up and give their 2 cents on where they're going to be at with their time next year, so we understand what gaps we need to fill and how extensive of a plan for the year we can put together.
Right. You don't want to set a goal that's unrealistic, based on the labor, man hours, volunteer hours, whatever you want to call it, you have available.
Well, and that's exactly what it is. It's volunteering and it's labor, one way or the other.
And it's the same thing, the fire departments are seeing it. Everybody's seeing it,
Well, volunteerism is dying to some extent everywhere across the board. So it's tough. But that's kind of the plan, is maybe sometime in late August or September we'll get together and talk about what kind of time we have and how we want to structure things going forward and who's going to be where and what positions and hopefully put together a nice plan for next year and really get things going back into full speed.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, I mean, like you guys, I mean, the honors that you got in this award are really much deserved, because like that, the events that we came to last year, I mean, they're just, and the year prior, I mean, they're just fantastic.
I appreciate it.
And it's just a lot like our little organization here. It's really just building community, but it's a lot of people that have a common interest getting together for fundraising. And, you know, the presentations that were given, Kip did one, Billy and Dallas did one on, you know, a DIY backcountry, like group hunt, how to plan your own backcountry hunt.
Yep.
So there was some fun stuff, great topics, and always good to see everybody, and always a nice time, you know, worth the drive down to join you. So kudos on all those things, and I'm glad to see you guys get the recognition for everything that you've done and as hard as you work.
You know, you certainly don't do it for the recognition, but when you get it, it feels pretty
darn
good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's awesome. So anything else new with the club before we start looking at winding down? Anything else with your branch?
Nothing really new. I mean, just this year is a little bit different because we've got some less people going on, so we're a little disappointed that we weren't able to do more this year. But there isn't really anything new, I guess.
Good,
so to speak.
Well, hey, you got. I know your mind's like on one track. We're a month out, so I'm looking forward to another great event. And
it's coming.
If there's anything I can do other than what I'm already doing to help you, let me know.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. I appreciate it.
I look forward to. I got to talk to the boys at the Hunt Works and see what they want me to bring down. And I don't think any of them are planning on coming. I told them if you want, I'm going either way. I'll rep for the company.
Yeah, when I talked to Steve last week, they've got some family birthdays, and it is Father's Day weekend too, which may be a detractor for a lot of people. But to me, I mean, I think about it, it's something fun that you can bring your kids out to and do all day and have a good time. I mean, your kids can have fun all day. We've got the pond is there, and there's a guy that's really good.
Some fish in there.
Yeah, really good helping the kids, and he watches over the pond and helps them catch some fish. And there's a shop in Dansville, DWS Outdoors, that donated some nice archery targets and a youth bow, a Bear Brave bow. And what we're going to do with that they actually suggested was just to set up one of the targets for the little kids to shoot over there in that pond area.
Have somebody just supervise it.
Yeah, and it'll all be for nothing, and we'll end up giving one kid, depending if you can hit the target, you'll get some tickets or whatever, and it'll go in a bucket, and we'll give it all away
at the end.
That's
a great idea.
Little kid that's too young to go on the youth range, like maybe a 4 or 5 year old, something like that. That'll be cool. But it's something that the whole family can come out to. I mean, if you show up first thing in the morning and shoot the archery courses all morning, and then stay for the raffles all afternoon, it's
a day.
It's a day. It's a long day, but there's a lot to do. There's going to be vendors. You get all the food and drink you can handle.
Yeah.
So you'll stay well fed and you won't be thirsty.
Yeah.
But it is a long day.
Well, let's pray for good weather. That's the only thing we were lacking last year.
I know it.
So
I know it.
Well, hey, thank you for taking the time out of your day to jump on with us and talk a little bit about your upcoming events, and look forward to seeing you on June 1st. I hope Al's available to join us. We'll see.
Hopefully.
Depends on his how well his gallbladder wants to play along, right, Al?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, could you be a grill master still? You don't have to plant trees, probably.
No. I should be able to make that.
All right.
I had nothing on the schedule.
So, Al and I will take the cooking, and we'll have some, when we did the New York State Outdoors Writers
last year,
get together last year,
Addison,
Al really did well. He's like, look what I brought along. He had all sorts of little.
Oh my
God! Yeah. He had venison, some cubes, and some backstrap or something, some tenderloin, marinated. We had that on the grill with some cheese. Oh my God! People loved it.
Yeah, that was a good day.
That was a fun day. We had a lot of fun. We cooked venison sausage, some of Billy's, some hot dogs. So it was a good feed, and it was a lot of fun just cooking, hanging at the grill, and cooking for everybody.
Yeah.
So
no rain.
It was a beautiful day, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It's hot.
Yeah,
it was hot.
It was hot that day.
Yeah. Alrighty, anything, Al? And you ready to head back north or what?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna pack up and
all right,
head back out of Wellsville, and I'll probably next time I see you will be June 1st down in.
Highly likely.
In Warren, Bradford, PA area.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll be great. I look forward to it. Thanks for joining us, and in the meantime, keep feeding them. I brought you them hot dogs. Keep feeding them.
That's right.
All right. See you, buddy.
See ya.